Hi everyone, this is Andrea Powell with Karana Rising, and it's Kids Reading Hour, otherwise known as Parents Take a Break. So today I'm going to be reading some wonderful stories of African American and African young women and girls who've made amazing impact in their lives and done good things around the world. So these young women really inspire me and inspire our team at Karana Rising, and I hope that you will enjoy learning about all they've been able to dream of, achieve, and overcome. Here we go. This is Rebel Girls Goodnight Stories, and our first story is Alec Wick. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Alec who was stopped by a mango tree to get a snack on her way to school. In Alec's village, there was no running water nor electricity. She had to walk to a well for drinking water, but she and her family lived a simple and happy life. Then a terrible war broke out and Alec's life changed forever. As the warning signs wailed over the village, Alec and her family had to run away from the fighting. It was the rainy season. The river had flooded and the bridges across it were underwater, and Alec could not swim. She was terrified of drowning, but her mom helped her to cross safely to the other side. Along the way, Alec's mom traded packets of salt for food and passports because they didn't have any money. They managed to escape from the war and made their way to London. One day, she was in a park when a talent scout from a famous modeling agency approached her. He wanted to recruit Alec as a model. Alec's mom did not want her to hear about it, but the agent persisted, and she finally agreed. Alec looked so different from any other model that she instantly became a sensation. Alec wants every girl on the planet to know, you are beautiful, and it's okay to be quirky, it's fine to be shy. You don't have to go with the crowd. So that's Alec. Let's find another one that we will be excited about. Let's see. I am looking. There are so many amazing stories in here. It's hard for me to pick which one should be the next. Okay, this is Harriet Tubman. Have you guys heard of her before? One day, a girl was standing in front of a grocery store when a black man came running past, and he was being chased by a white man who yelled, "Stop that man! He's my slave." She did nothing to stop him. The girl's name was Harriet, and she was 12 years old. And she was also enslaved. Harriet hoped the man would escape. She wanted to help him. Just then, the overseer hurled an iron object at the running man. He missed, but hit Harriet on the head. She was badly injured, but her thick hair cushioned the blow enough to save her life. "My hair had never been so combed," she said, "and it stood out like a bushel basket." A few years later, the family who owned her put her up for sale. So Harriet decided she had to escape. She hid in the daytime and traveled by night. And when she crossed the border into Pennsylvania, she realized for the first time in her life she was free. "I looked at my hands to see if I was the same person now that I was free. There was no such glory over everything, and I felt like I was in heaven." She thought about that runaway slave and her family in Maryland who was still enslaved, and she knew she had to help them. Over the next 11 years, she went back 19 times and rescued hundreds of enslaved people. She was never captured, and she never lost a single person. That's Harriet Tubman. Let's see who else. All right, this is Michaela de Prince. Very different story. Once a girl called Michaela lost her parents during a terrible war. Michaela had vitiligo, a skin condition that caused white spots on her neck and chest. And because of how she looked, the people at the orphanage called her the devil's daughter. Little Michaela was lonely and scared, but so was a girl called Mia. And when Michaela was afraid, Mia would sing a song to her. And when Mia could not sleep, Michaela would tell her a bedtime story. They became best friends. One day, the wind blew a magazine to the gates of the orphanage. On the cover was a picture of a beautiful lady in a sparkly dress. Her toes pointed. "She's a ballerina," Michaela's teacher told her. "She looks so happy," 4-year-old Michaela thought. "I want to be like her." Soon afterwards, she was taken on a long journey. She and Mia got separated. To stop herself from being scared, Michaela started to dream. She dreamed that she and Mia had a mom and that she was a ballerina. At the end of the journey, a lady came up to her saying that she wanted to adopt not only Michaela, but Mia too. All of Michaela's dreams were coming true. So where was her tutu? She started searching around. "What are you looking for?" asked her new mom, and Michaela showed her the magazine. "Oh, you can be a ballerina too," her mom said, smiling. Michaela devoted herself to ballet and is now a ballerina with the Dutch National Ballet. Amazing, right? Okay, let's find another one. Oh my gosh, there's so many good ones. If I remember correctly, there is one you guys are gonna really like. Getting closer and closer. Let's see. I know which one I want. All right. Oh yeah, there she is. Okay, Valeska Chaibu. Have you ever heard of her? She's awesome. Once there was a girl who wanted to become a doctor. Her name was Valeska, and she was really good at school. One day, she discovered that her uncle had promised her in marriage to one of her cousins. Valeska was horrified. "You can't force me to get married. I want to be a doctor." Unfortunately, the country where Balkissa lived allowed parents to arrange weddings for their daughters when they were still children. "Just let me stay in school 5 more years, she begged her parents. Her parents agreed to postpone the marriage, but after 5 years, Balkissa's love of learning had only grown stronger. The night before she was wedded, she escaped from her house and ran to the closest police station to ask for help. She decided to challenge her uncle in court. She was terrified that this might turn her whole family against her. But her mother quietly encouraged her to keep fighting, and the judge agreed with Balkissa, and when her uncle threatened her, he was forced to leave the country. "The day I won the case and put my school uniform back on, I felt like my life was renewed," she says. Today, Balkissa is at university studying hard to become a doctor, and she also campaigns for other young girls to follow her example and say no to forced marriage. She visits schools and speaks to tribal chiefs about the issue. "Study with all your might. It's not easy, but it's your only hope," she says. Pretty awesome, right? All right, let's get a couple more. Getting there. Nope, not that one. Yes, this is Simone Biles. Have you guys heard of her? Once there was a girl who could fly. Her name was Simone Biles. Simone Biles was a gymnast, the greatest in American history. When Simone took to the mat, people couldn't take their eyes off of her. She was so fast, so strong, so flexible and agile. Simone started gymnastics when she was 6 years old, and by the time she was 18, she'd already won so many medals that when she traveled to Rio for the Olympics, everyone expected her to win not 1, but 5 medals. One day, a journalist asked her, "How do you deal with that kind of pressure?" "I try not to think about it. Right now, my goal is to be more consistent on the uneven bars." "What about winning a gold medal?" "A medal can't be a goal," Simone replied, smiling. "It's like my mom always says, if you're doing your best, means coming out on top, that's awesome. If it means that you finish 4th, that's awesome too." Simone's mom adopted her when Simone was 3. She taught Simone that staying humble and doing your best is the only way to have a meaningful life and inspire everyone around you. And at the Olympics in Rio, Simone won 5 medals, 4 of them gold. All right, let's see about maybe one more. Okay, we read about Rosa Parks. I don't know if you've seen that one. Okay, here is, let's close with one I think you're gonna really love. Michelle Obama. Isn't that an awesome picture? It's really beautiful. There's a little quote underneath. "Always stay true to yourself and never let what somebody else says distract you from your goals." Michelle Obama. Once upon a time, there was a girl who was always afraid. Her name was Michelle Robinson, and she lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago with her family. "Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not good enough," she worried. And her mother would say, "If it can be done, you can do it." Michelle worked hard. "Anything is possible," said her dad. Sometimes teachers told her she should not aim too high because her grades were not that good. Some people said she would never achieve anything big because she was just a little black girl from the south side of Chicago. But Michelle chose to listen to her parents. Anything is possible, she thought. So she graduated from Harvard and became a lawyer at a big firm. And one day, her boss asked her to mentor a young lawyer. His name was Barack Hussein Obama. They fell in love and got married a few years later. And one day, Barack told her he wanted to become president of the United States. And at first, she thought he was crazy, but then she remembered, if it can be done, you can do it. So she quit her job and helped him on his campaign. Barack won the elections twice, and Michelle became the first African American First Lady of the United States. No one is born smart. You become smart through hard work, is her motto. So, my little friends, those are just a few of the stories from Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls by Chanel Jane Austen and Elizabeth Serene Williams. These are amazing little reads, so you can find these online, and I will read a few more hopefully next week. But I hope that you're having a wonderful start to the week. You're asking the right questions. You're taking time for yourself, having fun and playing, but still learning and thinking about what you can do to love yourself, love your friends and family, and have a really awesome day. Thanks again. This is Andre with Karana Rising. Bye.